Students, welcome to the lecture series of Object-Oriented Programming. In this lecture, we are going to see C++ standard library with its uses, design constraints and categories. At the end of this lecture, you will be able to introduce standard C++ library. You will be able to explain uses and design constraints of standard C++ library. What is C++ standard library? It is a collection of classes and functions which are written in the core language. The ISO and ANSI standards were issued to that standard C++ library in 1998. The standard covers both the C++ language and the standard library, that is everything in the namespace std. The standardization process continues as the language evolves and the new features are added. The standard library was derived from the several different sources. Let us see the uses of C++ standard library. It provides support for the language features such as memory management and runtime information. It supplies the information about implementation defined aspects of the language such as the largest float value. It supplies functions that cannot be implemented optimally in the language itself for every system such as square root and memory move. It supplies non-primitive facilities that a programmer can rely on for the portability such as list, maps, sort functions and input-output streams. It provides a framework for extending the facilities it provides such as conventions and support facilities that allow a user to provide input-output of a user-defined type in the style of input-output for the built-in types. The library provides the common foundation for other libraries too. Let us see the design constraints of C++ standard library. As we know that the roles of standard library impose several constraints on its design, so the facilities offered by the C++ standard library are designed to be invaluable and affordable to essentially every student and professional programmer, including the builders of other libraries. It is designed to be used directly or indirectly by every programmer for everything within the scope of library. It is designed to be efficient enough to provide a genuine alternative to hand-coded functions, classes, and templates in the implementation of further libraries. It is designed to be either policy-free or give the user the option to supply policies as arguments. It is designed to be primitive in the mathematical sense, means a component that serves two weakly related roles will almost certainly suffer overheads compared to the individual components designed to perform only a single role. The facilities offered by C++ standard library are designed to be convenient, efficient, and reasonably safe for the common uses. They are designed to be complete at what they do. The standards library may leave major functions to other libraries, but if it takes on a task, it must provide enough functionality so that individual users or implementers need not replace it to get the basic job done. The facilities are designed to be blend well with an argument built-in types and operations. They are designed to be type safe by default. They are designed to be supportive for commonly acceptable programming styles. They are designed to be extensible to deal with user-defined types in ways similar to the way built-in types such as classes, objects, structures, unions, and standard library types are handled. Let us see the two different categories of C++ standard library. The facilities of the standard library are defined in standard namespace, and hence when you write a program in C++ you should include that standard namespace in your program, and it is presented as the set of headers. The C++ standard library can be categorized into two major parts. The first one is standard function library and the second one is object oriented class library. The standard function library consists of a general purpose standalone functions that are not a part of any class. The library function is inherited from C. The object-oriented class library is a collection of classes and associated functions. The standard C++ library incorporates all the standard C libraries also with the small additions and changes to support the type safety. The standard function library. The standard function library is divided into the different categories such as input-output functions, string and character handling functions, mathematical functions, time, date and localization functions, dynamic allocation functions, and void character functions, whereas the object-oriented class library defines an extensive set of classes that provides support for a number of common activities including input-output, strings, and numeric processing. This library includes the standard C++ input-output classes, string classes, numeric classes, HTL containers, HTL algorithms, function objects, iterators, allocators, exception handling classes, etc. I hope you have got the general idea of C++ standard library. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Happy learning.